My name is Captain Will Mason. Today we're back on the 44 Fontaine Pajot for leg 5 of our trip, southbound to Fort Lauderdale. We just started our cross from Beaufort Inlet, North Carolina, over to St. Augustine, Florida. We're looking at about a 430-mile run. As you can see behind me, we are trolling. We're gonna try to catch a few fish and have a little fun along the way. We've got a 2-foot head sea coming right at us, which is quite honestly just a little bit annoying in a power cat because of all the smacking it's doing, but we got to go slow for at least half the trip for fuel burn and fuel consumption. Come along for the ride. It's going to be an awesome couple days out on the open ocean. The Atlantic's going to be looking nice. We'll see what we hook up here in the next couple days, but we've got a long ride. Come along for the trip. I found a TLD on a old Shimano rod. It looks like he picked up at some point. I don't know if this was his or he just bought them, but looked like they had still tags on them from the store. I've got one of those pre-made Wahoo whackers that you can get at the tackle store with wire. That's rolling out there on this one. This one's got a lot of braid, so that's why I put that Wahoo whacker on here. And then I went to braid to all he had was a 100-pound mono, so I went from braid to about a 50-foot stretch of 100-pound monofilament to give it a little stretch if we do get something big, like a big Wahoo or something like that. And then over here, we got an old pin set up on an old, I don't even know what kind of rod that is. Fenwick, oh yeah, it's an old Fenwick rod, roller guide rod. And I've got a little squid daisy chain on that, so that'll definitely get something. Just a matter of when. But got a big bait and got a small bait, so we'll see what happens. One problem is we don't have a gaff, so I have no idea how we're going to get a fish in the boat with no gaff. He's got all the he had this fishing gear that was all in packages, had never been used or opened. Found it up there in the storage box. So happy about that. It'll be fun. We'll see what happens, but we may have to drag the fish up onto the swim platform real fast, try to wear him out the best we can before he gets to the boat. We got no gaff. I don't know. I was thinking about getting a hammer maybe and using a hammer to knock him out. Beats me. I don't know. We're gonna have to get creative. See that right there, you could tell when you come over, it's actually gotten a lot better in the last 30 minutes. You think it's gotten better in the last 30 minutes? I think it's gotten better in the last 30 minutes, I don't know. But the problem is with these power cats, they're low to the water at the bow. When you're going slow like this, you know, you come over the wave and then you come down, and that wave, there's nothing to break the wave apart. So that wave just comes and smacks the underside of the hull. And when it does that, it smacks the underside of the hull between the sponsons, it shakes the whole boat. This boat's got a pantry full of stuff right here, and that pantry's just going insane. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there. I can't move it. There's nowhere to move it to. Just one of those annoying things. It's supposed to get calmer and calmer throughout the next day or two, and I really hope it does, because we needed to calm down. If we have to listen to this thing pounding and shaking for the next 24 hours, it's going to be like right there. See, it shoots the water out. I mean, that's it hitting the hull, so kind of annoying, but we're going with it. Well, we just had our first fish on. He hit the squid, and it was a nice fish. He was running pretty good. Slowed the boat down. I gave him a minute to set the hook, and then slowed the boat down after a few seconds to 1,000 RPM, but we kept it moving. I don't know, I was reeling on him, he just popped off, so pretty good sign. I don't know if it was a dolphin or a kingfish or what, but no chafing on the leader. Probably a dolphin maybe. I don't know, we'll keep it going. What speed is that? Yeah, what speed? 8? Okay. He was on for just a little bit before I could get the camera going. See if we get another one here. Well, still nothing. We just passed a bunch of boats bottom fishing, or they were kingfishing or something. I couldn't tell what they were doing. It looked like they were slow trolling, but still haven't caught anything yet. Made some burgers. It's kind of hard to clean up while you're freaking getting tossed around. 361 miles. So we made a good dent so far. We got to keep it going though. Gonna be a long night. Luckily we have FLIR and radar. We'll be fairly close. I mean, we're, you know, I think South Carolina coast is 50 miles or so over that way, maybe 30 to 50. I haven't really looked yet, but we're not that far from the coast.
Quality footage right here.
He made a big run. All right, Lane, go pull it just to idle. Just to idle. Just in gear. Hold him just like I am, and you reel. You keep tension. If you feel him let off, you got to reel, okay? Keep tension and reel. Go. Go. I think it's a tuna. Keep on reeling. Still feel him? Yeah?
He's still there.
He's coming to you. I can't tell where the line is. Is he coming right on? Is he to the boat yet? Let him do that. He saw the boat. Try to lift up on him. There you go. Nice and easy. Keep them tight. You're doing good. Stupid net, that's all we got. Tuna. Get him to the surface. Try to keep him over here for me. Your head thrashing? Yeah, I see color. What is that? Keep him over here. Oh, don't tell me it's a friggin' Bonita. A ginormous Bonita. Just a ginormous Bonita. A giant Bonita. Here, come here, hold him, Lee. Look at all the bait coming out of his mouth. Got him? Yep. Okay. There you go. Here you go. Pull it back. All right, good job. Now we got a mess. Yeah. Just a Bonita, guys, but he was a giant Bonita. I don't know if I've ever seen a Bonita that big. He was huge. All right, Lake, back to 1900 or whatever we were at to make that 9.8 miles an hour. All right, well, it was tuna-ish. It was just a bonita. Definitely looked like it fought like a tuna, but not surprised. We're still only in like 100 feet of water, so I don't think many tunas are this close in this time of year, so makes sense why it's a giant bonita. Hey, good morning, guys. Man, it was a long night. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. The seas picked up a little bit, slapped around pretty good last night, but you know, we slept through the night. Well, we didn't sleep. We kind of slept and maintained watch, you know, slept with one eye open, check our electronics, keep an eye on the FLIR camera, keep an eye on the radar, that kind of stuff. We dodged a couple container ships last night that came up on AIS. All in all, wasn't a terrible night, but just the slapping gets annoying. But we woke up this morning to following seas, so they're pushing us. They're pushing us to St. Augustine. We've got 180 miles to St. Augustine currently. I'm thinking about 1 o'clock. We're gonna have about 120 miles to go. And I think we're gonna get it up on plane and run it all the way into the inlet. That will cut our time in half, put us there about 7:30, 8 o'clock. We're anxious and itchy to get off the boat. We need to make time. We got to get to Lauderdale. But based on my fuel calculations, burning an average of 1.1 to 1.2 mile to gallon from Morehead City. And then if you add in my calculation for running the 120 miles at 0.6 mile per gallon, pretty sure we're gonna have about 50 gallons left over once we hit the inlet. That makes me comfortable enough to get it up on plane and go. We're gonna have just enough to make it. We are dragging one lure, but we're only in 300 feet. Caught that big bonita last night. That big bonita last night was pretty cool. That was a monster bonita. I haven't seen a bonita that big in a while. Sure is nice out here. We're not getting rolled around anymore. 140 miles. I'm washing some clothes, and then we're gonna shut the generator off, and we're gonna boogie. I think we're getting like 1.3 mile to the gallon right now, which is pretty good. It was correct on my Gulf Stream assumption. We skirted the edge of the Gulf Stream for just a little period of time, maybe 2 hours. And we lost about a knot to a knot and a half, so not too bad. Out of that now, we got our cruising, we got our whole speed back. So doing about 10 and a half, 1.3 to the mile, which is pretty good. But based on that fuel burn, we've been doing about 1.1 to 1.3. We've done 284 miles now, and we got 140 left. Still haven't caught anything. Kind of weird, we're skirting the Gulf Stream and still haven't caught anything. The boat does have Starlink, and we've been using that, but I don't think he had the plan set up for offshore. So once we got like 10 or 15 miles out, it cut out. So we've been doing this whole trip without Starlink, which, you know, boo-hoo, poor me, but it would have been nice to have some sort of entertainment along the way. You know, you get cab fever and you start looking at each other like, what do we do? And what do we talk about now? I don't know, maybe until the next hour I'm washing some clothes. Maybe while they're getting done, I'll grill up some burgers here and make some lunch before we get to ripping. heading down. We're about 20 miles from St. Augustine Inlet. Haven't been trolling or anything, but we're getting there. Fuel started getting a little sketchy on me, so I just pulled it back. We'll just go slow. I don't want to take any chances. A 1.3 burn rate at this speed, so that's nothing. 8 gallons in 2 hours. Still haven't got cell service yet. We're itching for that. A couple cargo ships going by, coming out of Jacksonville. Good morning, guys. Well, we're sitting here at the St. Augustine Municipal Marina Fuel Dock. We rolled into the inlet last night about 9:30, maybe 10, and pulled up on the fuel dock here. We're taking on fuel now. Pretty exhausted. We were tired last night for sure, which is why there was no film content. We just weren't thinking about it last night, but apologies for that. St. Augustine, we're gonna keep this video going. We're gonna head off the dock here today after we get fueled up and reprovisioned and cleaned up a little bit. Head down to probably halfway to Lauderdale. Hopefully the Stewart area, we can get to Stewart today. We have 283 miles to go. So we're just gonna make it a easy 2-day trip, because doing it in one long day with this boat would be a really long day, and plus we gotta get cleaned up and we gotta clean the boat. We're gonna keep it to 2 days, probably the ICW. The winds are starting to blow from the south again, of course. So we've had south winds right on the chin the whole trip. We've got more of that, which is another reason why we're staying in the ICW. I don't want to be out there in 2 to 4 foot anymore, that's for sure. It's an easy 2-day ICW trip to Fort Lauderdale. So we're gonna do that and then get the boat cleaned up here. We'll be back by Wednesday. Stick with us, come along for the ride. We're gonna keep it going. What's the current doing?
Running.
Yeah, it's smoking in. By the way, guys, this is what I dealt with last night. This current coming in here is wild at St. Augustine Municipal. So current's incoming, right, Lake? So which line should you get off last?
Last is Springs.
Yeah, this one. Okay, so see how this one's loose? So once you release the bow line, I will use the engines to keep the boat over to the dock. And when I say, all right, let's go, get that rear spring and get in the boat. We're gonna have to move fast because of how fast this is ripping, but I'll be able to hold it to the dock pretty easy, all right? We got the boat washed down and cleaned up best we could for now. The next 2 days are gonna be getting the boat back right, interior wise, exterior wise, all long week. So got a lot of cleaning to do. You ready? All right, go ahead. So guys, I'm just doing, if you didn't have a joystick, you'd be doing starboard, forward, port, reverse, just to keep the bow over, using that spring line, that rear spring. Yeah, you can get the last one if you want. Clear? Now I'm just gonna let the current take me off. I'm gonna do port reverse right now. Port reverse, just kind of let the current take me off. Port reverse, starboard forward again. I'll back straight up, and this guy in the center console, of course, is coming to cut me off and get in my way. Now I'm just going to do port reverse, starboard forward, and spin around here. And here we go, we're at day 6. Day 6 of running, at least. Or no, is it Tuesday? Yeah, day 6. Go find the ICW markers and head that way. Bridge of Lions, we had to open that last night. And here's our ICW red and greens. Still in a no-wake zone. St. Augustine mooring field. Just telling Lake a few minutes ago that, you know, we're gonna take 2 days to do this, but we still have to do at least 100 miles today to make Fort Lauderdale by tomorrow night, just because of all the bridges and stuff. So we're gonna do a mixture of slow speed and on plane today. Probably pick it up on plane here soon. We're in that St. Augustine to Daytona Beach stretch, pretty wide open through here. So you can make up a lot of time. We got to keep it going a little bit. We got to do 100, 150 miles today, and then we can do 150 miles tomorrow and finish it out. Just blowing south. I mean, you can tell it's pretty cloudy. There's a lot of storms. It's blowing from the south. I got a feeling the beach is going to be 2 to 4 foot. We're going to stay inside and make it happen, get the interior good and clean. So we'll show you the sights on the way down. Crescent Beach Bridge. Air draft of 23. Minimum clearance, I think it's +3 as well. It doesn't say that, but I'm pretty sure it is. Most basketball bridges are a +3 on top of what the sign is marked at. This boat's a 21.5 air draft. All right, coming through the rural part of St. Augustine, south. Channel swings way over here to starboard, marked by a green buoy, a green can. Most likely this area shoals a lot and it pushes around, so they have that can there so they can move it and adjust it as needed. Small inlet over there that's not really Matanzas Inlet. Probably small boats with outboards, you know, small outboard boats can get through there. Obviously nothing big, but a lot of current coming in here, and this is the intersection of that and the ICW. The green is way over here toward the bank because of all the shoaling. You know, it pushes sand from the inlet all up in here, and it just keeps pushing sand over here into the ICW. So that's why they've had to use these cans to basically move the channel over here toward the bank. All this area is shoaling. Remember, when you have a pass or an inlet, there's always going to be a lot of current, and whenever there's a lot of current, there's going to be a lot of sand movement. So when you're around those areas, you really got to pay attention. I mean, you can see, I don't know if you can see on the camera or not, but it's much more light colored water over here on the other side of the green. I got 9 feet under the boat. But you know, if I went off that way or you went off that way in a, you know, bigger size motor yacht, you'd be in big trouble. So got to pay attention. There's those North Florida trees. I love it up here. Pretty cool. A little tight right there. Look at the rock. You don't see that much in South Florida. All right, coming through this narrow stretch here, a lot of homes, a lot of docks. I slowed it down. Be in Halifax shortly. Wakey Bakey's been down there cleaning. He's tired, I can tell. You ready to be off this boat?
Yeah.
I know. Just you gotta regroup, get yourself back to baseline. I know yesterday was hard, but you gotta regroup, get your back down to baseline, and enjoy the ICW. Right? It's a mental thing.
Oh, I'm really enjoying this calm water, no winds, not being tossed around.
Yeah, we were tossed around for 43 hours, guys, or a little less than 43 hours, because we picked it up on plane a little bit, but it's still bumpy out there. Is that another Fontaine Pajot right there, Lake? Or is that a leopard?
That's another Fontaine.
Is it?
Looks like it.
Yeah, kind of does look like it, doesn't it? Looks like the same boat we're on. Yeah, there's another Fontaine. A Marlowe or a Fleming? Looks like a Fleming. No, Marlowe. Longbow Key. Some incredible homes along here. Amazing landscaping. Pretty cool. Interesting hardtop. Spiffy.
I like the name of the boat, Spiffy.
Yeah, it's certainly spiffy. We're getting some weather in South Florida. Got some rain out in front of us. There's a lot of weather offshore. I'm definitely glad we're in here today. But I guess we're going to beat through some rain. In a no-wake zone, manatee zone at the moment. All right, LB Knox Bridge closed, vertical clearance of 10 feet, so that won't work. He was very fast, said he'd get me open as soon as possible. So, yep, he's shutting it down right now. So that was a super fast bridge opening. I'll just go ahead and ease on up there. He'll have that thing open in no time. There he goes. Go ahead and ease on up there. Using the auto guidance follow route on autopilot. Let's see where it takes me through this bridge. Maybe dead center, hopefully dead center. Maybe to the starboard a little bit. These guys are getting wet. Raining pretty good. Yeah, took it dead center. Slow down for these guys.
Hope visibility clears for you a little bit, Captain.
Yeah, me too. Just another day, you know what I mean? Thanks for the quick open, appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Probably bring it back up to whole speed here, about 10 miles an hour. I don't really feel like getting wet. If I speed up, I get soaked. So, you know, we've been out in the Atlantic for the last 2 days, right? No cell service or anything. And apparently there's not a tropical storm, but the start of one called Invest 93. And that started literally right off the coast of Daytona in the Atlantic. And it's heading across the state into the Gulf as we speak. And this remnants of rain and right now fairly high winds are from Invest 93. And according to the radar, it's sitting right over Daytona Beach right now. And it does have some rotational wind to it. And this is what we're getting from it. Definitely some wind and a lot of rain. It's pouring down pretty good here. You know, just like that, I didn't realize that there was the start of a tropical storm. I don't know if it's going to turn into a tropical storm or not, but a depression, Invest 93, brewing while we were out there. So I'm really glad we're inside. He predicted it to be, you know, fairly windy from the south today offshore, so I kept it inside. I guess that's what's driving those winds, is the storm. I don't know. Guess I should have paid more attention, but we're just north of Invest 93. It's kind of off my starboard bow a few miles, and it's spinning that way, but I don't know. I hope it stops raining. I don't want to sit through this crap all day. But I'm just doing a whole speed here, letting the autopilot do it for me as I'm paying attention. It's doing a good job keeping me in the center of the channel, so I don't know, kind of funny. Always something. Alright, coming into Daytona Beach. Trying to find somewhere to eat. I think we're going to probably do that river deck grill in New Smyrna Beach after we get through the Fontaine Inlet area. So I wanted to go to Off the Hook or Down the Hatch, but it's not the best day to navigate the shallows of Fontaine Inlet in this freaking catamaran. So I don't know if I want to try that today or not. I've been through Fontaine Inlet, the inside of Fontaine Inlet many times, but it changes so much in there with the sandbars. They move around. It'd probably be okay, but I also want to keep it moving. So we'll see what we look like time-wise. But coming up to Daytona. All right, well that got a little tight through here with the dredge. Gator dredging based out of Clearwater. They got a bunch of barges through here. I guess they're doing the Fontaine Inlet stuff. But yeah, you saw that yellow can lake? That kind of stuff makes you nervous because you never know when there's an underwater pipe. You gotta watch that. All right, we're at Fontaine Inlet, or the backside of Fontaine Inlet. You can bring it back up, bud. Trying to get the New Smyrna. A Huey skiff. Yeah. We have sun. Finally, we ran through all that. It took like 3 hours to get through all that rain. Invest 93 is moving quick. Coming up on New Smyrna Beach. Ponce Inlet's right over there. We're on the Ponce Cut on the backside, away from all the sandbars. You can see the current edge from the inlet to the ICW here. Pretty cool how it does that. It stacks up on each other. Some clear water coming up. Deck here in New Smyrna. Just grab some lunch real quick. It's about 3:30, 4, and we're planning to cruise through the night, at least to midnight, to make up as much time as possible. Blake's getting the lines. We're gonna make today our long day and tomorrow our short day. That's the plan. See you later. Thanks, have a good one. Got some spectators. We are on our way to the Indian River and Mosquito Lagoon. That is our next destination. I think we got about 10-15 miles until we make that turn. All right, like, what does that say? 30 mile an hour, 25, day, night, in ICW. Slow speed, minimum wake out of channel. There you go. All right, we can roll. Boston whaler plant right there. Got a couple outrages, looks like, sitting at the dock. Alright, about 3.5 miles until the cut over to Mosquito Lagoon. Making good time. Apparently, SpaceX has a launch in the morning, so maybe we'll get to see that. All over Canal is coming up. Coming around the corner into Haulover. Haulover Canal. A lot of good red fishing around here. I'd really like to come over here and do that one time. That's one of my goals I've never been able to do. I'm talking like big bull redfish out of here. They love that tide flowing through here. Cruising. We've gone past Melbourne. We're coming into Vero Beach. Fort Pierce is about 60 miles, maybe 50 miles. Haven't looked recently, but I would ideally like to anchor in Fort Pierce tonight, which means maybe pulling in there at 10 o'clock, 9, 10 o'clock. Something like that. So we'll have a few hours of dark, but we're trying to make this our long day and tomorrow our short day. So the problem with tomorrow is we're gonna have to get through all the bridges down through Palm Beach and Lauderdale and whatnot, so. But it won't be too bad. Got to schedule my ride out of here at some point. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but Blake is doing an excellent job lining up our markers. We don't go all cattywampus, using the autopilot well. 150-ish miles today. Pretty beat. It's about 9 o'clock. We didn't get to Fort. I mean, I'd have to, you know, I mean, I could run it on plane in the dark like this. Like, it doesn't bother me. I've done it 100 times, but I'm pretty tired. And it's always better to play it safe. So I could go slow for the next 3 hours and hang it up at midnight, and then we'd have a 100-mile run tomorrow. Or I can hang it up in the next hour and find somewhere to anchor and get out of this south wind. That's another problem, is getting out of this dang south wind while it's blowing straight up the ICW. You know, just do our 130 miles tomorrow. I mean, we did 152 today, and we didn't get off the dock till 9:30 or 10. We slept in and had to get fuel. I don't know. I'm up in the air. I guess I'll make a decision in a minute. We are pulling up to an anchorage off the ICW at Wabasso, the town of Wabasso, and we're right next to Marsh Island Yacht Club, which is over here to our starboard. So right after this bridge is the little hole that I'm going to get into, and we're going to put her down for the night at about 10 o'clock. About 160 miles today, which is good. Do we have a sailboat in there, Lake? Looks like there's a couple sailboats in here. All right, well, we're gonna get the anchor down, get the bridle on, and call it a night. We just got anchored up. We're in about 6 feet of water in this little hole off the ICW. Looks like a good little anchorage, very little current. Really hope you guys enjoyed that video. That was a long crossing from North Carolina, and a great day down the ICW today. Hope you learned a thing or two. Thanks so much for coming along for that trip. If you're new here, please subscribe. Otherwise, thank you all so much for continuing to watch the channel. It really means a lot. We're working hard at it. We'll see you in the morning for our run, the Wabasso area down to Fort Lauderdale, to finish this 9-day trip off. It will be 9 days tomorrow. It's been an awesome video series. Hope you guys enjoyed it. There's Lake coming out.
Hello.
We're wrapping it up, heading to bed. Thanks so much for watching.